Preacher 357 here, out here on the range with a gun that I borrowed from my buddy Daryl. Works over at Cooper Firearms in Dyer, Tennessee. He lent this gun to me, and it is the Sig P322. And he's also got the hollow sun on top. This is a model that's optics ready, and he's got that on there. But I'm not going to use it today because it was not exactly on for me. Or I wasn't on, something wasn't right, and it may be me, but I struggled with it a little bit. But I noticed that it's set up to co-witness, and the rear of this hollow sun has like little ears on it that you can use as sights. And so I just started shooting it without the red dot even on, just using that as sights, and it seemed to be pretty good, so I'm just going to shoot it that way today. And if I can't hit anything, I'll just blame that. So anyway, I've got the Sig P322 here. And when this first came out, I couldn't help but notice how much it looked like the P365. But, you know, once I get it in my hand here, I realize there's a big difference. Let me show you. Here we got the Sig P322. Here is the P365. Now I've got the Wilson Combat grip on here, but it doesn't really change the overall size. It makes it a little wider. But just look at the difference here. I'll close the slide on this. Just look at the difference. The difference in the length of the grips. I mean, this is a major difference between these two guns. I really thought this was going to be a small 22. This is not a small 22. Now, it is a thin 22. You can see here, it's about the same width, but it's just a lot bigger. So this is more like that P365X macro that they've got, size-wise. You know, this is feels like a full-size gun for the most part in your hand here. And one of the claims to fame of the P322 is that compared to a lot of the other offerings that are similar on the market from other competitors in 22, this one has a 20-round magazine. Compare that to the Glock 44. That was a big deal. Glock came out with the 22. It's the same size as a Glock 19, and yet it only held 10 rounds. The Glock 19 holds 15 and 9mm, and yet they couldn't make a 22 the same size that held more than 10. You know, that was a big disappointment for a lot of people. This holds 20 rounds. And these types of magazines here, it has the little tabs on the side, much like you saw with the Smith & Wesson Shield EZ series, that make it a lot easier to load these magazines. Of course, that's not something that Smith & Wesson originated. They didn't design that. You know, that kind of thing has been around a while with the tabs, but it has those. And these are all polymer magazines as well. These are not metal magazines. These are polymer. Not that it makes much difference, especially when you're talking about a 22. And, you know, let's be honest. This is probably not going to be a self-defense gun. It's probably not going to be your home defense gun. This is a range gun. You know, 22, though it can be effective as self-defense, is not the preferred caliber for the majority of people. This is a gun to take out on the range and have a little fun plinking with that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to shoot. And really, that's what it is. So why don't we just do a little bit of shooting with it? I was able to shoot it fairly well earlier. You know, once I turned the red dot off and just started shooting it on my own with the sights here. And so hopefully I'll be able to hit something in this video and not make too big of a mess. Hey guys, I thought I'd bring you in here to the cleaning table here to just briefly look at the P322, the breakdown of it, which is a little bit different, and show you the internals, some things you might not be expecting about it. So first off, we have to lift this up, and then you move it backwards, and you have to find the spot, and then it will lift off. Finding the spot though is the key. There it goes. Now then, and the slide comes off that way. And looking at the internals here, nothing just jumps out at me except for one thing. It's hammer fired. If you can see that there, there's a hammer here, much like with the the equalizer, the Smith & Wesson equalizer, the EZ line that have the hammer. Very similar in that regard. But you'll notice one thing about this. That's not a tilting barrel design, is it? Well, that's because it is a 22. And so they're going with a direct blowback operation here. And there's, of course, your recoil spring, which is not much. Of course, you don't need a lot for a 22. And this is a barrel that allows you to put an adapter on it for a suppressor. So that is something they include as well. But it looks a little bit different than what you might expect, because obviously it looks like just a standard polymer frame pistol here, but it's not striker fired, it's hammer fired, and it's obviously a direct blowback here. So I thought that might be something interesting you'd like to look at here if you're not familiar with this gun at all. So it doesn't really affect anything as far as the way it shoots. I mean, just shooting the gun, you'd never realize it was hammer fired versus striker fired. It's got a really good trigger on it, what you would expect with a hammer fired gun actually. But it does have the safety here as well. And the safety's well out of the way. I know with that Smith & Wesson equalizer, I struggled with that gun with engaging it, because where I held the gun, my thumb was right up against it. But with this one here, it's a large enough gun. It's way out of the way. I mean, I never even came close to hitting that safety. So I don't mind that safety being on there at all. With the equalizer, that Smith & Wesson equalizer, I really struggled with that because I wanted to engage it while I was shooting accidentally. So anyway, there's the way she looks on the internals. So I thought I'd show you that. Let's just get back out to the range again. All right. Put it running around in the chamber here, and we'll start over here on the red plates. And we'll see if I can hit anything. All right. All right. Well, didn't hit that. There we go. Well, I don't know where I'm going. There we go. I was actually doing pretty well earlier. There we go. Yeah. Not too shabby. Once I kind of got the feel for it again. Been out here shooting some other guns, and since I shot this one last, and I guess I lost the feel for it for a minute there. Let's go out here and see if I can hit this one at 35. Got to be real careful when I'm shooting, because that rear sight is bigger than the front sight, so it moves around a little bit, and you have to get it centered just right. So, you know, it's a pretty good shooter. Now, I think if I had this red dot, you know, set up for me a little bit better, it'd probably work pretty good. But, you know, I had that one Glock 45 that I borrowed from Daryl as well that had it on there, that I shot pretty well with that on there after I got used to it. But they're just not for me, I guess. And I guess I'm just stubborn, but I just prefer to have just a regular iron sight. Well, that was the example there where the front sight wasn't exactly lined up perfectly in the center, and you can see it and you think it's lined up, and then you pay closer attention, you can tell it's not, because I would prefer just to have the standard rear sight on it, but it works well enough. So why don't we load up another couple mags here, and I'm shooting mini mags here, actually hollow points, and the reason is I didn't think it was shooting all that well with the lead round that I had, which was just bolt pack Federal. And so I changed over to these. It seemed to be a little bit better with these. Now, it wasn't just terrible with the bolt pack, but I was getting some light primer strikes, and a lot of that just has to do with the bolt pack, 22. You know, rimfire is not the most reliable, so I don't think it had anything to do with the gun whatsoever. But I just felt like these were shooting better, so I changed over to the mini mags, because you can't go wrong with a mini mag. These are pretty good rounds, these CCIs. And I've got some some standard velocity Federal here as well that are lead round, which I may switch to if I continue shooting after this. But this Sig, I mean, it's got the flat face trigger on it, much like what you see with the XL and the X Macro 365s. I'm not a big fan of flat face triggers. I mean, I don't dislike them, but I don't just go crazy over them either. It doesn't make that much of a difference to me. Curved trigger, flat trigger, I mean, you can get used to any of them. It's a matter of just getting accustomed to it. And, you know, you don't pay any attention to the shape of the trigger generally. The only time the trigger makes a difference like that is if you get a lot of trigger slap or something. And, you know, as long as it breaks well, you know, the shape of the trigger doesn't make that big of a difference to me. Some people it may. You know, we're all different. We all have different points of view when it comes to these things. So it may bug you to no end, and you just can't shoot anything that has a curved trigger, and you need that flat face trigger. You know, we're all different. If that's what you want, here it is. It's got it. So you don't have to change anything out on it. But you see on my P365 there, I've still got that original curved trigger. And I have no problem with that trigger whatsoever. I don't see any reason to change it. So anyway, let's just do a little bit more shooting. I hadn't went out here at 100 yards and at 80 yards here to these plates out here, have I? Well, let's try it. I don't know. 22 out of a handgun doesn't have a lot of velocity. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to get out there or not. But we'll try it. Oh, I think I heard it. I think I heard it again. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hitting it a time or two. It's not making a very loud noise. It doesn't have a lot of velocity when it gets out there. I think I heard it. I mean, this hearing protection I have, it even amplifies the sound. And I barely could tell if I even hit that or not. I can't tell where I'm going. I think I hit it again. Yeah. Hard to tell. 22 out of a handgun is just not meant to shoot at 80 yards or 100 yards. I would bet if I went down there and I tried real hard, I might be able to find a bullet intact. It may have barely even deformed the bullet because it hit with such little energy. But we'll shoot one more mag up here, see what we can do. This little one's gonna give me trouble. Oh, it's turned sideways though. That's making it even harder. Well, I can't end on a miss. I got 3 more rounds here left out of this, out of these mini mags. So we'll just shoot 3 more rounds, and then I'm gonna call it done. I don't know much else to say about this gun, other than some of that bulk pack having light primer strikes. And when I put them back through the mag, they fire the second time. But other than that, it's been flawless. It's cycled everything I put through it. Lead round and the hollow points here. So it seems reliable. And I've shot some hot stuff, some light stuff, and everything in between, and it cycled every bit of it. So some guns that are 22s are real finicky about how hot the ammo is and won't cycle with certain kinds, but this one's cycled everything I put through it. So I think it's a pretty nice little gun. I wouldn't mind having one myself. Wouldn't mind having one to come out here and plinking with, because it's nice. I really do like it. I really do. May have to make Daryl an offer for this one. What do you think? Well, maybe. We'll see. If my wife lets me do it. There's the big if, right? Yeah, I really do like this gun. I really do enjoy shooting this. You know, 22 is just such a pleasant round to shoot anyway. There's so little recoil, and it's so much fun just to come out and just sling a bunch of lead down range, you know, that doesn't cost a lot of money. You know, I come out here with some of the guns I shoot, 44s and what have you, and I mean, you can just feel the money coming out of your wallet every time you pull the trigger. You know, it's expensive. You can come out here on the range and shoot $150 worth of ammo in no time, you know, and you know, I like to shoot a lot when I shoot, so it's just going to be expensive, and that's just the way it is. But anyway, I got 3 more rounds in here. Let's try Mr. Cowboy. Oh no, we got 1 round left. Oh, I've been redeemed. Saved on the last shot. Well, anyway, there it is, guys. There is a Sig P322, 22 caliber, long rifle, 20 round magazine, a fun little plinker. Don't care for the hollow sun myself. Obviously, I'd put the original factory rear sight back on it if it were me, but you know, it comes ready to put a red dot on it. So if that's your thing, there it is. And I really enjoyed this. I'm probably going to plink some more after I turn the video off. So I know you want to see it all, but sometimes I just like to shoot without you guys watching me. You make me nervous. But anyway, guys, appreciate you coming out. If you would check the description there, there's a link for the GOA, the Gun Owners of America, for a discounted membership there. You can get in the fight and help us with our gun rights here in the United States. Also, there's a link there for the TFA, the Tennessee Firearms Association. If you live in the great state of Tennessee like I do, click on the link there, join up, get in the fight. I urge you to do that if you live in this state. And also, guys, I'd ask you to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm on a big push right now by the end of the year to try to get to the monetization level. 1,000 subscribers. I'm getting awfully close, and I made a lot of progress. I appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. Give me a comment as well. Those help with the algorithm, and I'll try to respond back. I try to respond to everyone that I can. Now, as the channel grows, there may come a time I can't do that, but as of right now, I'm still trying to at least reply to everyone, or at least, you know, give you a like or a heart or something like that to let you know that I did read your comment and appreciate it. So guys, appreciate you coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.